Welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of the trilogy that Bryn Oh has going on at the moment. Part 2, the Rabbicorn story, down in this room. Take the teleport and be right there. Last month we took a look at part 1, which was the Dot of Gears, which told the story about a mother that went to great lengths to bring back her daughter from a natural life to one of a machine. We have a recap here that actually shows off a couple of scenes here that wasn't in the part 1 here, which may make things sound a bit easier to understand, as I didn't see that particular sign anywhere on the ground. This one we did, and the second and third one we did as well. This fifth one, though, we didn't see, though, at the end, but it may have been part of a secret teleport somewhere, which Bryn Oh used to do that quite a bit. Inside here, they won't find the memory stored in my mind. Inside here, just me and you. Love so pure and always new. Inside here, reality I've prepared for you to hold my hand when I'm feeling scared. And we can see a window there that has some birds or something along those lines on the other side of it. And we'll go ahead and take a look at part 2 here, which already starting out, it looks like we're in kind of a crystalline formation here, as we're heading somewhere, apparently. We'll just head on through this other door. Looks like we're heading somewhere, though. Got some caged off areas here. We seem to be heading down a long tunnel. It appears at the top of these stairs is a old rickety house that's barely standing, it looks like, almost. Made out of wood boards and some tin foil, looks like. Or not tin foil, but some just tin, I guess. Rusted old tin. And I think over there might actually be the mountain range for the part 1 area, but I can't be for sure. Okay, so we'll head down here, and apparently it seems that the old house was covering up an old bunker. And in fact, is in fact an old laboratory down here. So we'll go ahead and take a look around. Plenty of gizmos and gadgets about. You can see some particles along that array there. That looks pretty nice. This is a maintenance room, not a whole lot going on in here. Got some sinks, gotta stay clean when you're in a laboratory environment. Got a moth in a jar here. A few things in the glass cages. Something that looks kind of like a jellyfish mixed with a person. Here we have what looks like a tiny person in a jar here. And we have some robotic bugs. We can see a nice little bit of advanced lighting going on there with the blue on the walls. We can see the other side where we came from over there. A scientist in a lab built the Rabbicorn from things she had, from Tesla coils and a music box, parts of a gramophone, and fur from a fox. She gave her a heart and a strong mind. She was the only one of her kind, for the ones she made before her were robo-bears meant for war. So, for our first bit of story, we're already learning about the Rabbicorn's creation, which appears to be somebody that used to be a war scientist who seems to be making something a bit different this time. And we have some more robotic creations mixed with other things. Looks like a lot of test experiments, more or less. Robotic geese up there, it looks like. More machine bugs. Yep, there we go. Looks like it's machine on the inside, though it's taking care of some eggs. And here we have the Rabbicorn herself. Apparently in the makings of being created, and her heart is sitting right there in front of us. Let's go ahead and take a closer look for a second. Yep, all the gadgets and gears going on inside, and then the heart circling around just like that. An artificial heart to make something feel. Let's move on to the next scene, shall we? Alrighty. Looks like we have a pathway of sorts here. When she was done, she knew the Rabbicorn must go, and that the government must never know, for they would not care about her heart, they would rather tear her apart. So she gave her to a man she met that day, who had mentioned that it was his son's birthday. She made him promise to look after her, and for the first time the Rabbicorn's heart did whirl. As she looked back, she said, "Please don't fear," and as they drove away, wiped away a tear. So already the creator is giving away the Rabbicorn because of knowing what the government probably wants some sort of war thing, but they wanted to create something that was different. And so we see the Rabbicorn being carted away by the man, and presumably the creator out here, somewhat transparent, but seems to be part almost robot herself, it looks like. It seems kind of like scenes transition with these effects of it being almost artificial in the ends, like you're just taking a peek at something that's happening right in that moment, and it would fade away very quickly after that. At least that's the way I see it. Alright, we're on to the next scene. And here we have the next sign here, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. She was placed in a box wrapped in a bow on a wood floor under the computer's glow. In the morning feet did race, the lid did open a child's face. Eyes of cerulean looked down on her, and again the Rabbicorn's heart did whirl. Or whirl. I don't know. I keep on saying whirl, so I guess I'll go with that. Yes, it looks like she did end up becoming a present. We can see this nice little bit right here where the clock is semi-transparent, like I was talking about before. It really looks nice the way it is, with the scenes kind of only being solid in certain areas as everything else kind of fades away. And all these computer screens are going off all around us. The Rabbicorn's just sitting there, presumably happy to be in her new home. So let's go ahead and see what the next scene is like. Looks like the boy is playing with the Rabbicorn just from looking out that way when they have another person here. "What are you?" the boy said to her. The Rabbicorn thought, then replied, "I'm not sure. Can I ride you like my bike? I think you could, if that's what you like." So he grabbed her horn and he climbed on her back, pointed at his sister and yelled attack. "Oh, I don't fight," said the Rabbicorn, "unless I must, and to this I am sworn. But we can jump up high and above the trees, so grasp my horn and clench your knees." From that day forth they did not part, and he caused gears to whirl within her heart. So already the kid is kind of like playing around with her, and the Rabbicorn is very much not into attacking or anything like that, obviously because the creator did not want the Rabbicorn to be used for war or aggression or anything like that, so I guess she was programmed, or at least made aware of, that she should only do things in defense and not offensive. It seems like the kid is happy with how the Rabbicorn carry him around and whatnot. There's a nice little ray of light coming through this doorway, though. And I guess that's the sister right there. Alright, on to the next scene. Which looks like we have a few people here. They played for 90 years over hills and grass, and to the Rabbicorn the time went so fast, but the boy grew old, and he was sure to do, while the Rabbicorn still looked brand new. Then one evening in the month of May, the Rabbicorn searched for the boy to play. She found him with men in lab coats, one looking stern, the other taking notes. So already time has gone by very quickly. So the man is probably close to 100 at this point, because he was already probably like, I don't know, maybe like 7, 8 when he got the Rabbicorn, so he's pretty old. And as noted, the Rabbicorn hasn't aged at all. Seems to be staring off here curiously. It seems like one of these people lab coat notices the Rabbicorn from how it looks. The old man also sees this as well. So it's going to be curious to see what happens in the next scene here, so let's go ahead and take a look. There she is, exclaimed one. Click, tag her with the GPS gun. With a flash of light followed by a pause, out shot a tracking bug, which told them where she was. She's an antique, a priceless find, the fabled Rabbicorn of both a heart and mind. Then the old boy pushed the scientist aside. Run, by Rabbicorn, find somewhere to hide, and never come back, or they will catch you and place you in a robot zoo. So, at this point, the boy, who is now an old man, is saving the Rabbicorn, though at the same time the Rabbicorn has been tagged by a GPS gun, and presumably now has a tracking bug on her. So I imagine the Rabbicorn is going to flee at this point. If we could see from the scene, the tracking bug that latches on the Rabbicorn is right there. Looks kind of like a spider. You can see the old man is fighting against one of the lab-coated men. Kind of an interesting contraption in his hands there. Yeah, it's pretty neat looking. In any case, we'll go ahead and head on to the next scene. And this one looks a bit barren, but we'll see how this goes. So the Rabbicorn ran as fast as she could, past some guards and into the woods, into a world she had never seen, into a world that had grown obscene. With wars fought just for fun to try out the latest gun, and presidents picked from TV shows who planted hate and then called it a rose. So we have a scene here of the Rabbicorn now exploring the world as she's never seen it before, which is a world essentially has gone mad, as it's been just overrun of technology that pretty much nobody cares about the consequences of. And we can see these giant bugs things, which are probably weapons on their own, I imagine. And we can see the Rabbicorn has the tracker bug still on her at the moment as well. So quite interesting indeed so far. And this place does indeed look familiar. Looks like we're back at the tower from part 1. So I guess we're going to be doing some climbing again, though it appears to be that the ground area has been completely flooded out by water. And the tower itself looks more worse for wear than we first saw it, which is kind of surprising when you think about it, because it didn't look very good in the first place. But it looks like nature is slowly taking it back in any case. So, presumably about 100 years, at least 100 years, has gone by since the story of the Daughter of Gears, and at the moment with the Rabbicorn story. As we already know, 90 years have passed, so I guess I should say at least 90 years, but close to 100 in any case. That one spawn on top there always gets me. Have to be really close to the edge. And I did it again. And yes, we're back at the first part of the story of the Daughter of Gears we saw. It looks like the Rabbicorn has found the original body of the Daughter of Gears, still in the little capsule there. Jumping over trees. Oh, it looks like we have a little grasshopper playing a little violin. That's pretty neat. Running and rewind, she fooled all the guards, left them way behind, for they have stopped making robots that thought. They now just made robots that fought. She ran 3 days on full power and found herself in the shadows of a tower that appeared centuries old, full of cobwebs, plants, and mold. So, if you have seen part 1, The Daughter of Years, then we should know what should still be up at the top of the tower here. We have another spear of light that we can just teleport to here. There we go. So in her flight she did stop, as she felt drawn to climb to the top. Though many stairs had fallen away to the Rabbicorn, the climb was play. Soon she had found the tower's pearl in the form of a robo-girl, standing alone in the vine's embrace, somehow sad yet exuding grace. So indeed, the robo-girl, the Daughter of Gears, is still up here at the top of the tower. As everything has slowly been taken back by nature, she's apparently been twined around by vines. It looks like we have some pigeons here as well. And the Rabbicorn's curiosity has found her something new. Something perhaps just like her. The tracking bug is still hanging around the Rabbicorn, as we can see. But it seems that the Daughter of Gears has been inactive this entire time. So I guess we'll see what the Rabbicorn has to do to get to talk to her here. Under the wing of a robofly was the flashing light of her standby, and as the Rabbicorn looked on her again as her gears began to whirl, though she did not know what she might find, the Rabbicorn joined with her mind. So it seems that they synced up minds here. And I guess we'll get to see what's going on inside of there, since the little picture that we saw at the beginning of this was like a white room with her just standing in it. So let's see what's going on in there then. We can see the vines and the Rabbicorn syncing up the mind. The tracking bug is still indeed there, which I feel will play a part in our last part that we'll eventually get to. So let's go ahead and take a look what this spear will bring us. Ah yes, the white room. The window and the birds. It's all here. You can see the birds are made out of, like, wire. Pretty neat. And we can see the Daughter of Gears and the Rabbicorn talking to each other. On a field of white with memories bound, the Rabbicorn heard a tiny sound of an indrawn breath from the Robo-Daughter, and the Rabbicorn knew just why she sought her. For in her soul the daughter was alone, resignation where hope's not grown. And seeing this, the Rabbicorn drew near, and wiped away a digital tear that appeared shiny and new. Then the Rabbicorn asked, "May I stay with you?" So at this point, we've now reached the point where both parts of the story have crossed. The Rabbicorn is now with the Daughter of Gears, as she was drawn to the point that the Daughter of Gears is no longer really living. She's doesn't have any hope left after her mother died. But the Rabbicorn wants to fix that by staying with her and giving her companionship. And that will leave us off of this story here, as it's the end of part 2. As noted, there's 3 parts in all, so we'll be seeing what the last part of this will be here next month for me, but probably not too long away for you. So, see you then.